say that? Because you think God is like you. Well, Bishop, there were some saved folk that died, and the Bible said he would not destroy the righteous with the unrighteous. You know what? That wasn't their destruction. The Bible says, I believe it's the book of Isaiah. He said, who knows whether the righteous is taken away to spare them from some future evil to come. That wasn't destruction. That was mercy of God took the righteous. If God sends some and a whole bunch of righteous folk die, you can't say that was destruction. The Bible said maybe God took them to save them from the future evil to come. So don't tell me that God won't bring you low. Look at what happened in Daniel, the 4th chapter. Nebuchadnezzar started talking about all the stuff he did. You know what God told him? God said, because of your arrogance, because you could not give glory to God and respect the holiness of God, the Bible said, God said, you're going out to the field for years. You notice what the Bible said when he got out there? He started acting like an animal. His hair grew out. He started eating grass. His fingernails grew like eagle claws. Y'all going, this is a man that looks like a beast in the field eating grass. I'm talking about a king, and if God will do a king like this, if he'll humble a king, you don't think he'll humble a secretary? If God will humble a king, he'll humble a president. He will humble a mayor. He will, y'all gonna get quiet. He will humble a governor, because God ain't no respecter of persons. The Bible said he left him out there and taught him a lesson that God is not to be played with. And then he says at the end, then my reason then returned to me. After God beat me down like that, now I started thinking right. And look at what happens in the next chapter. Nabonidus, the son of Nebuchadnezzar, history says is now in Arabia. His son Belshazzar sits on the throne. The Bible said Belshazzar, in spite of the experience of his grandfather, I want you to hear me. The Bible says he has a party one night for 1,000 of his lords. This is some kind of party. I ain't never had 1,000 people at my party. This man had 1,000 folk at his party. Musicians and dancers and everybody is at the king's party. And the Bible says, hear this now. While he was drinking wine, I guess the party got dull. And he says, I got an idea. Y'all go. Those vessels that came out of the house of God, bring them in here and let's drink wine out of those sacred vessels. The Bible said some crazy person went and actually got them. Brought the vessel and look at them starting now to drink wine out of God's sacred vessel. I mean, you talk about blatant disrespect for that which is sacred and holy. And the Bible said while they were drinking. See, that's why I worry about when the world look like they having fun, because God know how to break up the party. The Bible says while they were drinking, I want you to hear me. All of us, look, there's a hand writing on the wall. While they were drinking and making merry, all of a sudden, just out of nowhere appears the fingers of a man's hand, and just, God ain't say nothing. He just let his hand, not an arm, not an elbow, not a shoulder, just a hand, just writing on the wall. And look at the king now. Oh, you were so bold. Oh, you thought disrespect was so funny. And now all of a sudden the fear of the Lord is coming back on you. And let me say this, brothers and sisters, you ain't gotta like it. God is about to bring the fear back. Y'all done got quiet. I ain't talking about to the country. I'm talking about first of all to the church. Because judgment gotta begin at us. He's gonna throw up and unroot some of this stuff that have sat in the church. And the fear is coming back. The handwriting of God on the wall. The Bible said the king got scared. His knees started knocking and the joints of his loins got loose. Just got weak and couldn't hardly stand, because now he understands that I am reading and looking at a testament to God's impending judgment. Just writing on the wall. The Bible said he talks to his magicians and he says to them, y'all got to find me somebody that can read this. But can you imagine the people in that hall that night having a good time, and all of a sudden you look up and there's some supernatural taking place. You just looking against the plaster of the wall and there's just a handwriting. What would you have done if you had been in that place that night and just started seeing a handwriting on the wall? I bet the musicians started packing up. Oh God, I bet the organist and the drummer put up his sticks. The guitar player yanked the cord out and said, I ain't staying here. You got this one by yourself. Can you imagine now how God broke up the party? Oh God, when they saw a handwriting on the wall. And that's what I come to tell this country. That's what I come to tell the church world. I ain't trying to be your friend. I ain't trying to be liked. But I come to tell you there's a handwriting on the wall. Anybody that's spiritual can read it. God is writing it out. He's saying that is righteousness that exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. He's writing on the wall, woe to the nation that forgets the Lord. That's a hand just writing on the wall, just writing. Not saying nothing to nobody, just and nobody could read it. They saw it and didn't know what it meant. You know what somebody might have been saying? That's just global warming, Bishop. I don't care what nobody say. Anytime 100,000, 200,000 people get killed at one time, they ain't got to like me. It can be as controversial as you want it to be. I'm just trying to tell you. There's a handwriting on the wall. Thousands of fish washing up at one time. 10,000 birds falling out the sky one time. 10,000 bats just dying at one time. That's a hand writing on the problem is nobody can read. They can see it, but they don't know what it means. Anytime children would take a gun to a school and mow down everybody they see, God is trying to tell us something. He's trying to tell us the way we raising them is not the way they should be raised.